Is this visible, Manoj?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So at the first yatas, you asked to uh, do a static value. So I input a key as a employee name and the value as yeah, Saruk. And after that, I use the router here,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, this is my logic. If the first name not equal to employee name here is a static value that's Saruk.
Mm-hmm.
So goes into the it's not found, and if it is equal to, so then it is go on the found output. So here, if you see, so I added manually the Saruk into the 50 ID. So it is found, and rest of the candidate is here. So it is for the uh, a pipeline section, uh, a, a, a pipeline yeah, parameter, and this is for the expression. So I use here the expression and import the file and use this logic expression yeah, library first name is not equal to the first name of this file, so
Mm-hmm.
go into the not found, and if it is the found, so go into the found in. So at that scenario, I have to use here I was like to see first, one second. So what is the name here? So in the yeah expression yeah library, I wrote the name as yeah, Jasmine here.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
yeah. So in the sheet, yeah, there is a yeah Jasmine also. So rest of the ID is here. Only ID number yeah, yeah 3 is not there, because it is the found into the in this output. Jasmine, the first name is here. So
Okay.
I do the two tasks, and also I have some conditional input here. So here I am also doing the same as a in the ID section. Is there any empty value? So
Mm.
yeah, is blank there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, so, what if, I mean, you have designed two pipelines? What if I ask you to put everything in a single pipeline? I mean, first question is, do you require two pipelines?
Uh, do I require two pipelines? Is no, because at
Mm.
the first section I have also add here
Mm.
uh, the logic as a and.
Mm.
So if and I can compare here also the static and the expression libraries too. So two pipeline is not mandatory here. I can include into the all two logic into the same, and it is goes to the check into the static and the expression library too, to
I,
found it or not found it. Yeah.
yeah, you can do it within a single pipeline, but you don't require to put and that the logical
Okay.
operators, you don't need to use it, because I mean I just want the file should contain the records which is not matching with the pipeline parameter or the expression library file, right? So in the second view, I mean found it view,
Hmm.
router, the
Hmm.
router, you can put not equal to from the library file itself. So the first path will contain, I mean, which will check for the pipeline parameter, and the
Hmm.
second path will check for the library file within
Ach-
this. I mean, you don't require AND operation and everything. If
Hmm.
you do it, then it will, both should match. I mean, that
Hmm. Hmm.
a different expression altogether.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay, let's
Hmm.
move.
Okay.
Yeah. Uh, Sushmita, can you share your screen and show me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can share your screen.
Is it visible, sir?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I have done it in a same pipeline by
Mm.
taking two file writers.
Okay. Yeah, this
Mm,
is fine. So that underscore name is something that you have written in the pipeline parameter.
Pipeline parameters, and I have taken an
Mm.
expression library.
Mm. Okay.
Well, I have kept a single name in extract file, so output.
Right. One thing you need to remember is to the file name of the expression library file, you have given that .json. JSON will work.
Yeah,
There is no problem. But the point is to identify whether we are using, I mean, how are we using this file? It's a suggestion that we have to use it with, or the type of the file should be with the .expr.
EXPR. But actually, I have taken a note file and save it in a EXPR file,
Mm.
but it doesn't work while
Mm.
running. Running the pipeline, it shown an errors.
Mhm.
So
Uh,
I just take an JSON editor and download it from it.
have you uploaded that file into Snaplogic? Is it there now? Have you deleted that file, or is it still there in Snaplogic? The
It is
TXP.
there. It is.
Mhm. Can you go to manager and show me what is there? What is there in that file? The logic that you have applied is correct. I mean, there is no problem with this.
I think it is.
Mhm. Just click on that view. The mistake that you have done is, if there are multiple objects like this, okay, those should be going into an array. So after line one, okay, you can do one thing. Copy this. Yep. Copy this. Take one. Take notepad one notepad. Maybe use notepad plus plus. That is better. Right. So paste it out there. So at line two, after line one, yeah, click enter. At line two, open square bracket. Yep. At line 12, yeah, click enter, close the square bracket, and at line 7, put comma. So whenever you are defining multiple objects within a JSON object, okay, those objects should be in an array format. So
Okay.
we have to keep them in an array of objects, right? As you have defined multiple objects, JSON or expression file will not be able to identify it correctly.
Mm.
So if you want to put multiple JSON objects like you have done, you have to put it in an array. How do we define an array? With a square bracket.
Square.
And then you have to separate those two objects with a comma.
Okay.
So try it out now. Save this file and try it out. Right. You can just upload it from there itself. Okay, that's the one. Yep. Go to designer. Mm-hmm. Right. Search for a top.
Yeah, you can see.
Okay. Okay. Save it up. Yeah. Now just validate. Yeah. So if if it is giving us this sort of thing, okay.
Mm,
I mean, if Snaplogic is throwing something like this, then there is an error, I mean, in your file. So it is saying that encountered extraneous input at line 3. There is that angular brackets. There is an issue with that.
mm,
Okay, figure it out. What is the issue? Otherwise, we will. I will let you know. I mean, I have given you a hint where what will be the format. So there is some error between those. Okay, is there any missed commas or semicolons or anything, or have you enclosed everything in a double quotes or not? Okay,
okay,
just,
so
just check that out. It
mm,
was saying that at line 3 of the file, it is there is an error.
yes,
Okay.
yes,
Yeah. Yeah. The logic that you have done is correct. I mean, there is no problem with that.
yep. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Anyone else who has done this? Anyone? Uh, why aren't we able to do it? I mean, others. What is the problem? Is there anything that you are not able to understand? You want me to repeat something? Because we are going in a way where we have to understand the basics or the things that we are doing. Otherwise, the concepts that we are gonna discuss in future, you will not be able to get it. So the point I'm asking here is, why are we not able to do it? What is the problem? I mean, if you have anything that you don't understand, let me know. I will reiterate things. I mean, anything that you want me to cover it up again, or anything that you want that you feel that you don't have much information to do things. You all have your trial accounts available, right? So why are we not trying? Are we trying? Are we not? Shashank?
Yes, sir. Sir, I am trying this, but
Mhm.
when I implement the logic, then I can't understand why I would.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Actually, we could not put the correct logic.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Uh, so where is the gap? I mean, is it that you are not able to understand the requirement or something, or what is it? Okay. Have you gone through the basic JavaScript things that I have told you?
Yeah, we had looked for JavaScript, but
Mhm.
we are not too familiar with JavaScript.
Yeah, I know, but this is just a basic thing where you just need to use double equal tos or not equal tos. I mean, I'm not going into something complex. So, okay, I understand that you have some gap there, but uh, what is the problem? I mean, you are able to understand what we are trying to discuss, right? The only gap is the way you want to put the logic out there.
Yeah, only the logic is the gap.
Hmm. Have you given a try for that?
Yeah,
Hmm. Is it available? I mean, the trial you have given it out there.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Maybe at last 10 minutes or 15 minutes, I will just take a look at it, at what you are trying to do. Maybe I'll give you a thought about it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyone else? I mean, who else has a problem? Manohari?
So I completed until giving a logic sum. There I left.
Mhm. Uh, can you show me the logic? I mean, logic is enough.
No, sir, I didn't get the logic correctly. So the pipeline didn't run.
Mhm. So, are you still stuck at the logic, or are you able to identify the logics?
So now by saying the others, I got the logic, sir.
Mhm. Okay, sure. So I insist again, it's better you go back to JavaScript and try and play around with the snap logic using that. That's where
Yes.
you are lacking. Okay,
Okay,
everyone,
sir.
for everyone. So it's better because most of the things you are gonna go do it in the JavaScript itself. You know, the basic maybe ternary operation that we have discussed yesterday, or any other things actually. Okay,
Yes, sir.
the syntax that you have written or others have written, that is also basic JavaScript. They are not doing anything, rocket science there. They are just trying to read the values from file and compare it with the pipeline parameters or the library file. Just use, think in a way where we first of all think in a snap logic way. Which snaps should I use? There, there,
Yes.
there are multiple ways that we can do it out here. I mean, one is using, a router, as both Ashwini and Sushmita has done,
Yes,
and
sir.
otherwise is to go with what is the other sort of snaps that we can do. I mean, if you can give me any idea, anyone, not only Manohari, anyone. What other way we could have done that except router?
Copy and then mapper.
Copy and then filter.
Filter. Sir.
Why do we need filter here? Because we want to filter out the logic. The main point here is to filter out the logic, right? I mean,
Yes, sir.
filter out the records from the parameter to the source, and the lib file to the library file to the source. That's the main logic that we have to think of. So main thing that we need to understand is that can be achieved either through filter or router. So as I said yesterday, that we or I want to have a single pipeline and have those in a two different views, then I have to use either router directly, or I can use two filters and a copy. So these are the two ways that I can achieve, right?
Yes,
With
sir.
by the use of mapper, we can just change the values of the existing or the source records, or maybe comparison. But if we want to filter out or eliminate those records, either we have to use routers and filters, right? So what I have asked is, just check whether the values from source is matching or not matching. If they are matching, just go out and remove those records and do not put those records in the destination. That's the only thing. The other things are common. I mean, reading and everything that you are most used to and that you are able to do it. The main thing is the logical part, and it's an easy one. You have to think in a way. First, on the SnapLogic side, what do I need to, or what are the snaps do I need to use? That's the first thing. What are the ways that I can do? If you found out one way, just go with that way and do it. Then think of the other ways also, because we have discussed, most of the snaps, or the snaps that we use frequently in SnapLogic. That will be useful for you to think, okay, this is not the only way. Let's say if I'm stuck at some point, there is other way also for me to do the things, right? There will be multiple ways most of the times, not every time, most of the times. Just remember and do, and think in a SnapLogic way first. Get the snaps and then think about the logic that you have to put. Reiterate the question or the task that I have asked for, and then think that logic, that okay, I have to compare these two, from the source to the pipeline parameter or in the library file, I have to compare these two. So if I have to compare, I have to use comparison operators in JavaScript, right? What is a comparison operators? Where from the left record to the right record, or the left field to the right field, I can use some sort of operators wherein I can perform some comparisons. So double equal to, not equal to, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, only greater than, only less than, right? These are all the comparison operators. So this is a simple use of, I mean, this could have done by using a simple comparison operator itself, because the logic is simple. I just wanted to eliminate those records which are matching with the pipeline parameter to the library file. Okay. So I suggest everyone to go and work on JavaScript more, the comparison operators, the logical operators, ampersands, right? Double single quote, double pipes, which is our operator, logical operators, comparison operators, string functions, array functions, okay, objects, the JSON that I have told you, the date functions and everything. I will let you know when you have to go and read it. But it's not a one day task. You have to reiterate things and go back to Snaplogic and apply it there, because the main purpose of learning JavaScript, or the basics, few concepts of JavaScript, is only to apply there in Snaplogic. Okay, it's not that one day you have learned something and you have understood something and you have left it. No, it should be a daily thing. Even if I am not giving you any task, think about something and try to put use routers and filters mostly, and then try to write some logic, because logical writing will be mostly happening in mappers, where we are writing these ternary expressions, and routers and filters. 70 to 80% of the work we will be doing using these three snaps. Here and there, somewhere, you will be able to see these three snaps in each of the pipeline. Okay, that is mandatory. It's not the single day that you have learned something, you have left it. No. Every day, even if I am not giving any particular task on Snaplogic, go to Snaplogic as you have your trial account available. Go to Snaplogic and do some analysis on that. I mean, try to apply. Now Sushmita has came up something like she wants to put it two objects within a single object, right? You don't know how to do it, right? She did something wherein everyone got to know how you will be able to do a multiple objects, or put a multiple objects into a JSON object using an array, right? So there is a particular syntax for everything. So I am letting you know the basics of the things, and it is on you that you have to do some analysis and come back to me with some questions, right? It's your responsibility. So you should think like that key. Okay, uh, in this session we have discussed something like this. So what if I want to do something else, or I have said something, what if I want to do it or break it out and do it in a reverse way? Can I do it or not? So I mean, you have to think in such a way wherein you will be able to, get more ideas, or maybe you will stuck somewhere. That is okay. There is this Snaplogic session happening for every day, wherein we will discuss everything that you have tried. There is no problem, because once you try it, then only you will got to know everything. Otherwise, there is no use. Daily we are discussing some or other snap. We are going forward, but I think most of the people here are just there, I mean, where they have stuck somewhere. But you have to let me know where you are stuck and what is your problem, so that if there is something that I can do, I mean, maybe I may help you out on that.
Sir,
Yeah.
Snaplogic JavaScript are different or same as JavaScript?
Snaplogic is an integration tool. JavaScript is a scripting coding language. It's a
No,
raw
sir.
coding language.
Actually,
Those two
sir.
are different.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Makes sense? I mean, it's on you. I mean, whether you want to learn it in a better way. It's like, I mean, don't look at only this 1.5 hour session, or maybe daily 2 hours. It's not enough. It's like that because most of the people don't know or don't have exposure of IT itself, right? So I suggest or I insist everyone again, like spend more time learning Snaplogic. I will let you know what are the concepts and everything. Once you reiterate back to the session, you will get to know. That's not the problem. And you have to think in a way that everything that has to be happen through your Snap, right? First thing you have to come to a conclusion that what Snap has to be used and then go to the logic. So snaps you will get to know because we are discussing every day, most of the things, right? If not, you have a separate documentation. I will let you know in the, I mean, in the coming sessions. But the main point is thinking of the logic, right? Logical thinking or something we are not learning here, right? Logical thinking is on you, how to apply the logic. So it's not a one day practice that you will get everything because as you are new to most of the things, you have to go back to Snaplogic every day, do your things. I mean, think about something, try to apply there, and come back to me if you are stuck somewhere. Right? Like this, I mean, there is no point or there is no use if I am going, forward and only two or three, maybe max of four people are responding out of 28 or 30. What is the use? Right? Most of the people here are not respond. I mean, from day one, I'm seeing most of the people will not respond. I don't know how. I mean, why are they joining? Things we are discussing or going forward, it will get difficult, right? If we don't have the correct basic knowledge. So that's where I am asking everyone to do practice and then come back to me with questions, or maybe I'm giving a small tasks. Okay, from today itself, just remember, I am asking everyone again that please do more practice in Snaplogic and on the JavaScript, and try to do it together and apply logic within the Snaplogic, and then complete the task. Or maybe you can think of yourself and you can come to me that I have done something like this and I'm not able to get it. Maybe we can do it within the session itself, or maybe we will have a single session at the end of the week, maybe on Fridays, or if possible on Saturdays itself. If possible, if not on Friday, we will do it, and we will get together and we will get to know what others are doing and what can you do. Okay, I can do it like this as well, because by peers itself you will be able to know, or you will have most of the things, okay, in your mind, because you don't know or you don't have experience on it, right? As we are working around, I mean, 30 to 40 people are there. If most of you are doing something, others will also learn from you that okay, you are doing something and this can be done this way also. They might have one way of thinking, but seeing your solution or maybe seeing the way you are doing, others will also get to know. Okay, practice every day. Try to spend more time on Snaplogic and logical thinking of JavaScript. Think of your solutions, or maybe think of something where you want to achieve using this. Okay, it's not that I'm only giving some tasks. It's on you that if you want to practice everything. Okay, from day one to day here, try to combine or put a pipeline together using all snaps, but that should make sense. Right? Till now, we have covered most of the snaps, right? The most used snaps. So maybe try to build a pipeline using that. It is possible. Maybe try to build a pipeline with that, but it should make sense. End of the day, it should make sense. It's not that okay, we are putting together some snaps and we are making a pipeline. No, it should make sense, and you have to let me know if I ask you that what is the purpose of the snap, why did you put it there. Okay, you have to know that there should be a purpose of the snap, and at the same time you can develop everything in a single pipeline, or you can use every snap in a single pipeline till the time we have discussed. Why am I telling you now is the things that we are going to see now, basically most on the Java, JSON, arrays of JSON, array of JSON objects, everything, that may complicate things, because till now we are seeing Snaplogic in a certain view, it is going to change to a different view. For that, you have to have this basic understanding of what we have discussed. Okay, make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me share my screen. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So today, we will talk about a snap wherein, let's say there are, for example, customer is asking us to uh, send, okay, or divide the, let's say there are 50 records, okay, divide those records into 5 subsets. Do you understand what is a subset? Subset is nothing but the set of records which are from the parent or the original. Let's say 5 subsets, in the sense the complete file will have 50 records, for example. Okay, 5 subsets they have asked. So each set will have 10 records, and at the output we will get 5 records, each containing 10 records. So that's what I meant, 5 subsets. So the customer requirement is that he divide those records into 5 subsets, okay, and give me those records, or put that into a different file or maybe something. Okay, first of all, we will try to get it out, or we will try to divide those five or the complete record sets into 5 subsets. Okay, that could be any number of subsets. For example, customer is asking us to have a 5 subsets. So in general computer science, what we call this as a batching. What is a batching? Batching is nothing but the complete set of records coming from the source as a single set, 50 records as a set. We will divide those into a batch. Batch is nothing but a set. Batch is nothing but a set. Batch equal to set. So one batch is equal to one set. So what is customer asking? 5 batches equal to 5 sets. So I told you that we have to divide those into 5 sets. But in computer science generally, or in IT, what we call it as batching. Batching is nothing but the subset of the source records. Each batch will contain certain records, and that records are divided based on the customer requirement. Because he has asked for the 5 subsets, the records will have or divided equally into into subsets. Okay, so for that I will create a pipeline. Okay, this is the pipeline wherein I will use the same source files and everything from the previous snaps. So let me copy these two and have it here. Let me just validate it out. So these are the records. These are the 50 records, or some records that we have here. So my requirement here is to convert all those records into batches. Batches can be any number, but customer has asked us to give 5 batches, or the requirement for us to give is 5 batches. Okay, so for that we use the snap called group by n. So group by n is the snap that we use for this purpose. Group by n is nothing but groups the input documents into batches Each batch is an output document with a list of input data as a value specified by the target field. So, as I said, these 50 records, this group by n will consume that based on the group size that we have given here. The group size here nothing but the size of the group or the batch. If I say 10 records or 10 here, so what it will do is it will just convert those 50 records into 50 records into 5 batches. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It has only one set. If I see the JSON, it is only one set. It is only a complete set. But what group by n has done does is it has divided those whole complete set into batches, and the batch number can be defined here in the group size limit. I mean, group size parameter. It is the mandatory one. So what it has done is it has converted that whole JSON into a 5 different record set. But if you see, whole data is, this is the data. These are different JSONs, right? These data has been set into a array. So the thing that you have to remember is, if it is dividing into 5 different sets, each subset or each batch will be an array of records. So this is array of JSON objects. Okay, array of 10 JSON objects. So these are first 10 array of JSON objects. So if you see, second from 101 to 110, 111 to 120. Okay, so it's like it has divided the whole complete 50 records into 10 each, because in the group size we have specified 10, and the output will be in an array of JSON objects. So this group, where it is coming, because we have defined the name as group. If not, I have put it as data, but the field name is mandatory. We cannot have it empty. It is mandatory, something we have to put. So then the everything will be turned into data, because the reference or the key value for this complete array is data or group, as it was earlier. Okay, so as per the requirement, I was able to split those records into 5 batches by giving the group size as 10. Okay, so if we want to convert a data set, a flat data set, into an array, okay, if the customer requirement is to convert the data into an array, the complete data set, here everything is in normal JSON, or everything is a separate JSON object here, right? Everything is a separate JSON object here. If we want to convert that separate JSON into an array, we should use group by n. So the use cases are: convert the normal JSON into an array, then we use group by n. Convert or split the whole data set into different batches. If they say, first thing we have to think of is the group by n snap, because based on the group size, we can divide that whole group set into multiple batches based on the group size parameter that is available there in the group by n snap. Okay, it will give us the records in an array format. So the complete data set will be in a array of JSON objects. Okay, these are different JSON objects, and here the data is kept in array. Don't get confused with the top arrow. Top square brackets is just a standard that Snaplogic has given. Even this, you might feel that, okay, you are saying that it is an normal JSON object, but the data is in array. It's just a representation purpose. Don't worry about this top level, first level square bracket. You should only worry about this first record. So if I say this is a normal JSON object, because everything is a separate record, right? We have 50 records. but the output here is 5 records. If you see, only 5 records. Each record is a array of JSON objects. Make sense? Any questions on this? If we can specify 100 here, it will turn everything into a single batch. Because why? Because what is the complete data set out there? I mean, what is the number of records we have here? 50. But what is the number that we have specified here? 100, which is greater than the number. If the group size is greater than the source records count, for example, here the source record count is 50, but the group size I have kept it as 100, then it will turn everything into a single group or single array of objects. So everything will be turned into a single array. Okay. We have sent a normal data set with complete JSON objects. Then we have given group size which is greater than the source record count. Then it has turned everything into a single array of JSON objects. Okay. One thing you need to remember is, if the number of records coming from source is greater than the size in the group size, then it will split. It will split the records. But if number of records is less than the group size specified here, then it will turn everything into a single array object. And if we keep 0 also, it will turn everything into a single object. It will turn everything into a single object. See, every record has kept up into a single object. So things you need to remember is, if the group size is set to 0, or if the group size is set to the records count greater than, greater than the record count, if the group size is greater than the input record count, then what group by and snap will do is, it will convert everything into a single batch. Single batch, that whole 50 records into a single JSON array, and then give you the output. The whole purpose of this is to divide it into a subset, one set to a subsets. It's like one complete set into a batching. Okay, dividing it into batches. Make sense? If you keep the group size as 0, if you keep the group size as 0, it will convert everything into a single array object. If you keep the record count greater than the source record count there in the group size, then it will convert everything into a single object. So these are the edge cases that you have to remember. But if you specify within the count, let's say it's not 10, I have specified 20. Okay, I have specified 20. Then it will give me how many objects? 3 objects it has given. So first records will be 20, and the second batch also will contain 20. But how many records do we have from source? 50, right? But we said each batch should contain 20 records. So here goes the 20 records, here goes the 20 records. So what will happen to the next 10 records? So group by and Snaplogic are good enough to understand that, okay, there are 10 records left. What it will do is, it will automatically create a separate batch with 10 records. The leftover 10 records will go to the last batch. Make sense? So I have kept here, what I have kept here, 20. So each batch should contain 20 records. So first batch will contain 20, second batch will contain 20. 20 plus 20, 40 records are done. But I have kept this group size as 20, as there are no records. As the record is not matching, what it will do is, it will convert those leftover records or the leftover 10 records into a separate batch. Okay. Now I am keeping it as 15. So question to everyone, what will be the output? How many batches? How many batches will be the output? Out of 50 records, each batch should contain 15 records. How many will be the batches as an
4.
output? Yeah, correct. So first batch will contain 15, second batch will contain 15, third batch will contain 15. 3 into 15 equal to 45. The leftover 5 records will come to the last group, right? So if you can see, this will contain 15 records. This will contain 15 records. This will contain 15 records, and the leftover 5 records will come to the last. Make sense? These are the 8 cases that you have to remember. If you kept 0, what will happen? If you keep the size greater than the input record count, what will happen? If I keep the number which is not dividing with the source, right? Which is not dividing with the source, what it will do is that remaining records, it will convert it into a separate batch. Make sense? This flush timeout and memory sensitivity, don't worry about it. When time comes, I will let you know. It's not mandatory for you now, but try to understand the basic business of group by N. I will let you know in the future sessions about this flush timeout, how this memory sensitivity and the timeout will play together in the group by N. This is something, on the memory side, something on that. So the main thing that we have to remember is, you can keep it to 0. There is no worries. This flash timeout, it is mandatory, but you can keep it to 0. That is the default setting here. And you have to remember the main thing is group size and target field. Okay, the default value of target field is group. The default value of group size is 10. That is the default size given by the Snaplogic. You can change to any of the number. Make sense? Any questions? We have discussed a way wherein we can convert the complete data set into a batches or arrays. Normal JSON objects to array of JSON objects using group by and snap. Okay, the purpose is to convert everything or divide things into a batch. Make sense? Any questions on this? Okay, so we found out a way wherein we can convert the values, right? We can convert the values into a array. I mean JSON to array, right? We found out a solution wherein we can convert everything into a batches, or maybe normal JSON objects to the array of JSON objects. From normal JSON to array of JSONs, we found out a way how we can do it. And we also found out that we can do a batching also by using this, right? You found out. But what if I want to do the reverse, vice versa? It's like I want to have a normal JSON objects from the array of JSON objects, right? This is one of the basic questions that we will be having once we do this practice. Like, get everything and convert into array. Okay, this is wise. This is what we have done. This looks fine. But externally, if I want to write it into a file, it should be a different JSON objects. It should not be in an array. If the array is there, I cannot place that file because the data will go in a JSON way. No, I don't want it. I mean, for some reason, it will fail if I just send it out. The whole data set should be in a flattened way. Flattened way in the sense, only the normal JSON objects. It should not be an array of JSON objects. I cannot write it directly like this. What I have to do? So there is another option. There is another snap for this purpose, which is called a JSON splitter. So the name itself suggests that it splits the complete array into a different JSONs. That is what the purpose of JSON. Even the description says that splits a list of values into separate documents. In the sense, it will just split out the array of JSONs into a single JSON objects, each single JSON objects. So what I have to do is open this JSON splitter and I have to provide the array value. If I just click on this, there will be multiple values with the types attached to at last. But what I have to provide is the value with array. Okay. If I have to split the values, right? Then I have to provide the value with an array. Wherever the type is array, I have to provide that value itself, right? Save it and then validate it. You will get the normal result. So this is what you have seen, right? So it has turned. This is how it was looking here, looking out here. This is how it was looking out here. What JSON split group by has done is divided into 4 different batches. Now I have converted back to from array to normal JSON objects using the JSON path to split. I have to give the array. It will provide us the type of data here. Okay, to your right in the light green color, or maybe the color may change in future, but you have to understand that there will be a colored value to the right of it, and then we have to use it to split, because we can only give the value or type of value which is array. If I just give this, okay, this will be the value of it. So if I just give it, will it be able to split? No. No, because see what it has done? It has done that hyphen multiple times, because it has splitted out that value of commission PCT. What is there in the commission PCT? That itself it is splitting. But let's say if I keep it array, it will just split out only the email records. But what happens to the other records? We want every record, right? But here it has only split out the emails. But what happened to the arrays? I mean, next the other records. That's where we have to go and use the array. Then it will convert, or it will just split out the values of this to the normal JSON where everything can be seen. But if we want to have only that field to divide, then use that field itself. Then validate, then it will give you the numbers, only 4 numbers, right? The other fields will be discarded because we have not said, or we have not uh, tell to JSON splitter that only split this value. We have told only to split it out, not the other value. So what JSON splitter has done is it has just left over the other values within the JSON. It has taken care of only the value that we have specified in the JSON path to split, and then it has split it out. So one thing we need to remember is to use the JSON splitter, input should be in an array of JSON. Okay, we should have array of JSON values, then only we will be able to split the values. But let's say if we have string, you will not get the desired result, or it should not be the use case to use the JSON splitter. Only way is to use the JSON splitter is when there is a value which is an array of JSONs, then we have to split it out, then we use JSON splitter. Any questions? So we have understood how we can convert into a batches or into an array of values, and then split out using a different splitter, or maybe a different snap wherein it can split out or convert those array of values into a single value, or multiple values, or it's like, array of JSON objects into a different JSON, not the array. Questions?
So yeah, how many input or output of the Yeah, JSON splitter here. One. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So null safe access, you already know. I will let you know what is include scalar parents. That is not required now. But there is this path, or this is called the include paths. Okay. What if I have another value which I want to process through this snap? So there is this JSON value that I want to split. Okay. What it is doing is it is just splitting those values, but it is just excluding the other values, right? But what if I want to process this email also? Okay, in include paths, what I will do is I will just have the path which is you know which is splitted out, which is not splitted out, and which I want it as an output. So what will happen in this case? So if I just validate it, see the result of it, it will give me the split value as this is some default value that Snaplogic is gonna give you when you don't have any name for that. Once it is splitted out, there is no name for that. So that's where it has given us the split value. If you see, it has attached that emails, complete email set also, right? This is not splitted manner. This is not in a splitted manner, but what we have asked here is to process that email also, but in the JSON format or in the array format itself. Because as we have not done any as we have not done any splitting on this email, it is just coming as an output as is. But we have done splitting on the phone number, it is splitted out. But if you see, this email is being repeated to all 50 records. All 50 records will have the same value here. All 50 records will have the same value. But you might think that as we have splitted this out, this will also come as a splitted manner. No, we have not performed splitting on this. We have only performed splitting on this phone number. This include paths will help you to get the values of the other things which are not in a array format. So the basic purpose is, let's say I want to see, there is a method. So in this, there is a method called snap.in.total count. Okay, this is a Snaplogic method where it will give the number of records coming from the source. Okay, source count. Okay, if you see the output of this snap, what it will give us is how many number of records that is getting from this snap. See, 4, because there are 4. If I change it to 10, what it automatically does, the method that we have added here, this is a Snaplogic method, this is not JavaScript method. Snap.in.total count is the method that is given by Snaplogic. So if I just validate it out and then see the result, you will get the 5. It will automatically provide you the input number of documents or the count based on the number of documents. So for some reason here I want to process that source count. So what it will do is it will provide me the output, right? Likewise, it will just repeat it out for some reason. I mean, what it has done is for every record of it has come, or it is multiplying with number of records into the number of values. It has given around more than 50 records now. Because if you see the sequence of 2, we'll have the sequence of, see, sequence of 2 started here and sequence of 1 started here, likewise. So the only thing that you want to, or you have to remember is include path wherein you can include any value, not only something, you can define anything. As this is not in a splitted way, it will be repeated all over the values again, and then it will provide you the result like this. So the split value and the department, complete department set here. This is not splitted because in the in the JSON path to split, we have not provided that. Only phone number has been provided. And then, okay, then we want to add that value into the include path. So we can add any number of values likewise. So that will be added to each and every record in the output. So it should be used in a purpose where you have that requirement, where you have to pass those values to the output. So then only you will be doing that. You will not do it you will not be doing if you don't have any requirement. You don't use that include path. Include path, use it if you require, if and only if you require. Okay, whatever you put it in the include path, it will just come out in the manner that is there before the JSON splitter. See, these are array of strings. These are array of strings, array of strings, array of strings. What it has done is, it has taken out the values, it has converted the JSON into array of JSONs into array of strings, and it is giving us the output. Earlier, it used to be array of JSON values, and inside that JSON, there used to be different. But now when we include that department ID only, it has taken that department ID completely, that column out of that. And then the values that is there within the department ID, excuse me, sorry, that department ID has been converted into a array of strings, not a JSON, because only column has been picked. Likewise, there are 4 columns has been picked, and everything has been taken out as a string and converted into an array. So everything has been coming it now in an array of strings, not in array of JSON. That is what we have to identify. This is the main thing that we have to identify. After splitting, the value will be in a documented format. That is fine. Along with that, if you use include plots, and if you if you provide any of the department column name from the source, then the values from the or the column which we have picked up in the include path will be having the values in an array of strings, not in an array of JSON. Prior that, everything is an array of JSONs. JSON will have the actual objects and key value pairs. Now it has taken that key into this and everything has been splitted out into a different values. Make sense? Any questions?
So what is the best use case of the include path?
That's what I said. Whenever you have a requirement to have the columns which is not coming from this one as well. So if I delete everything, I will be only seeing the phone number. But in a certain case where you want the email also, maybe you will split it out. Maybe email also you want. Okay, so I have taken those 2 values, but the splitted values comes here. And then maybe you want to write it to another destination or something. So what I will do, I will only map that email that is coming up. Only I will use data array. Okay. Email. I will not use the split value. The split value will be used here, and then I will use dollar email. So for some reason you have splitted it. Okay. So if I see, I will get the email values here. Email. So if you see the splitted
Hmm.
values coming up here in email, right? So this is
Hmm.
the email that I have. Maybe I want to use it in a different destination, but I want to process it through so that this can be used further in some of the snaps. That would be a use case, but you won't be, if you think that you are not going to use it, you will be just leave it again, or
Hmm.
use this copy prior itself, maybe within before the JSON splitter, then use joins and everything.
Hmm.
This option, that is another way. So if we want to process the document or use this, the values with the include bus, then only include it, otherwise you are not required to.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So the task for you here is, there are two options here. Don't worry about these two. Exclude list from output documents, show null values for include paths. So these two are somewhere interrelated to include paths and JSON split. If you do your analysis, okay, if you go to Snaplogic and just go and do some analysis on JSON splitter, you will be able to identify. So let me know what are these two options. Null safe access you already know, you don't worry about this, we will let you know, but this is something that is interlinked to the values that I have told you now. Okay, include paths and JSON's path. You don't require any knowledge on this, you don't require, you just go and check this box and see the output, how is it differentiating, and identify if you are able to understand it or not. If not, I will let you know anyway, but it's task on you that do analysis on these two check boxes that is there. Okay, what if I kept only one, what if I kept both of them, what if I don't kept anything? Okay, anyway, the description is also coming out here if you just hover up. Okay, but how will the output behaves, that is what the task is for. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one task, and the second task is for you is, uh, just I mean, listen carefully. Okay, from the source records, split everything. Okay, divided by 2, split everything divided by 2, and then give me the number of records and put each batch into a different output. Got it? From source, divide each or complete records divided by 2. Okay, remember, I mean, listen carefully. Divide whole 50 records into, or 50 or 100, any number of records. If I give 100 records also, it should work. Okay, divide everything by 2, divide the records by 2, and then give those subsets into two different destinations without array, without, not in array format. I don't want it in array format. I want how the file is looking out now. Let me show you one thing. I mean, if I just try to process this array, okay, let me show you what will happen. Why it has failed? It's because that cannot format CSV data. Please make sure the input document a flattened map data. Flattened in the sense only the JSON value, not the array of JSON. Flattened map data is nothing but only the JSON objects. But found array list, it's not is nothing but the Snap is saying that input has an array, but I want the flattened data. In the sense, I don't want array of objects. I want single records, separate JSON records to be processed. Otherwise, I cannot do it. I mean, it's not the way I work. I work only with the flattened map data. It's not with arrays. Okay, then we have to use JSON splitters and everything. So the task for you is complete read the complete data set, divide that whole data set by 2. If you divide it, then you will get some batches. Write each batch into separate destination, each batch into separate file. One thing you need to remember is you cannot directly write it, you have to use the JSON splitter. I have already told you most of the logic already here. So you have to use group by end and JSON splitter, but you have to divide that complete data set divided by 2 and write it into separate destination, each batch into separate destination. I don't want different pipelines and everything. I want everything to be done in a single pipeline, and split that every record or group it divided by 2 and then write it to each batch. You will get different batches, right? Write each batch into a different destination. Okay, 2 different files I want. There are 2 tasks for you. One thing is on the JSON splitter. You need to explore these 2 options. What are these? And the other thing is, this is the task that you have to divide that whole complete set coming up from source into divided by 2, and then use those batches, write it into different destinations. Each batch should be going to different destination. I don't want everything in a same file. No, I want them in a different file. If I want to write the array directly also, you might understood now that it will fail, because the destination or the files will only accept the data within. If there is a CSV formatter or Excel formatter, it will only accept data in flattened way, flattened format. Any questions? Any questions on the task? Anyone?
No, I got it. Uh, but Manoj, when we ask for the split data by 2, so at that case we have to know how many yeah data in our file to import.
It's, I mean, any number of that is the logic that you have written. You have to write. I have told you that how you can get the number of record counts also, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So somewhere I have written this. Maybe
Hmm.
you can use this logic, or maybe explore your options.
Okay.
Right? I mean, get the maximum of this or something. How you can
Hmm.
get the maximum record count.
Okay, I find it out.
Yeah, it's on you. I mean, if I tell everything, what is the use, right?
Okay.
It's on you to identify. Even if it is 100 records, it should work. Even it is 1,000, it should work. But it has to divide everything divided by 2.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not only Ashwini I want it. I want from everyone. Any more questions on this? Anyone? Anything else you want me to cover up on these 2 options that we have discussed now? Are we clear on the task that I have told you? Yes, no, maybe I'm expecting some response.
Sir, please repeat the task, please, sir.
Okay. So here I am reading 50 records, right? If you see, output is 50 records. Likewise, take any file, maybe file with 50 records only, or maybe 100 records or anything. Okay. You have to divide those complete record set divided by 2. Okay. Divide that whole complete set divided by 2. Then you will get a different batches, right? You will get different batches. If I do 50 divided by 2, right? How many batches will I get?
2 batches.
2 batches, correct. So then output of the group by and snap is 2, right? And then one batch will go one path and the other batch will go other path. First batch will be there in destination 1. Second batch will be there in destination 2. This is just a basic mathematical thing that I have given you to divide, and then use that option within the group by and snap. Explore your options. I mean, try it out and do analysis and how I can perform. Can I use group by and or any other snap? Just explore your options and come to me. We will discuss on Monday. You have Saturday, Sunday as well. Okay. Try out every option that we have discussed till now, and some basic JavaScript also, where you have to use this, you have done this even and odd pipeline, if you remember. So take that, even logic, and you have to perform in some of the snaps, right? Already 60% of the logic that I have already told you. Only that 40% is where how you can divide and how you can use group by and the JSON splitter. That is what it is left. Okay. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I want it from everyone. Okay. So by this, I'll take a halt, and just let me know if you have any questions. I'm open for questions now. We still have 5 minutes left in the session. So in any other questions except maybe not the 2 snaps that we have discussed? Any other snaps till yesterday, or anything that you have tried out and you are not able to get it? Maybe you tried something but you are not able to find the solution, or you missed out something, or your logic is not correct or something.
Yeah, I tried to complete the last task, but the results are not expected.
Okay. So basically, I mean, were you able to see the solution from Sushmita or Ashwini?
Yeah, I
Uh,
have seen the solution of Susmita,
okay.
but I did not use router. I use filter snap.
Yeah, that is fine. I mean, copy with filter, that is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only logic you have to use is from just get the pipeline parameter underscore name not equal to, what is the not equal to symbol here? That exclamation and equal to makes not equal to in JavaScript or any other coding language, right? And then dollar name. Dollar is nothing but value coming from source, right? That we are checking the values from pipeline parameter to the source value. Underscore name not equal to dollar name. That's it. That's the thing. That nothing much. If I want to do it from the library file, lib dot some file name dot expr dot name not equal to dollar name. Done. Make sense now?
Yeah.
Session?
Yes.
Okay. So it's just like that. You have to think what do I need to do. So you have to do the comparison. Then go your I mean, it has to go to the comparison operators. Your mind has to go to your comparison operators. If you want your mind to go there, you need to do practice. Practice more on Snaplogic and along with the JavaScript. Think about something and try to code it out in Snaplogic on the integration solutions, or maybe any mathematical operations you want to do, or any string comparisons you want to do, string reversals you want to do, right?
Right.
Think out and practice more. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sir,
Yeah. Sunil.
sir, please suggest any websites for Snaplogic, the basic knowledge, sir, that JavaScript or strings.
Java T point. There is
Actually, I am looking for many, sir, but I couldn't find, sir.
If you want basics, you have this W3 schools, right? That is very basic. They will just give you everything in a basic way. W3 schools is one site where you can just refer and see. If you can see there, everything will be in a basic way. And come to the Snaplogic and look for the methods we have, string methods and array methods and the comparison operators, and go and search that method in the W3 schools. You will get the description and how you can use it. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, Java, Snaplogic JavaScript are different from JavaScript totally.
No. The JavaScript basically used for the front end. That is something else.
Yeah, that's
But
no, sir.
we use core concepts of JavaScript, like strings, arrays, and everything. We will use it in integration. We will use it in web development, and everywhere we use that basic string operations or array operations or comparisons, logical operators. We use those. So those only we required. Don't go for web development JavaScript. No.
Yes, but concept are same.
Concepts are same. Everywhere the concepts are same. There is no difference.
Okay. Actually, sir, I have the JavaScript notes, sir. That's why I'm.
Yeah. Concepts are same. Don't look for the web development related JavaScript, wherein you have to define this, buttons and everything. Don't go for that. Okay.
Only basic.
Basic, right? Strings, arrays, logical operators, comparison operators. Okay. Likewise.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Manoj. Actually, it's could be possible. I'm not available on Monday for a week. So at that case, we have I have tried to my task, and if I complete it, I share with the Prashant.
Yeah. Do one thing. Develop your pipeline, download it, and downloaded file, give it to Prashant.
Prashant, yeah.
Okay. Maybe we can just take out your logic on Monday. Okay.
And one more thing, in the Susmita case, is the expression file is not work. So earlier I am facing also this kind of issue. So it was some extension issue with the file. So
It's not the
go and
extension.
rename.
Basically, it's like, if you have any spaces in the file after dot or something, it will show you. But in Sushmita's case, what happened is she left out, or the format of the JSON is not correct.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like,
So inside the file here.
Square brackets are missing, or some comma is missing somewhere. That is the error that is showing there. In Snaplogic. Yeah.
Okay.
You have to correct it yourself and then come to me. If you are not able to do it, we will do it together.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. I think if nothing else, we can wind it up, Prashant.
Yes, Manoj.
Yeah.
So thank you, team. Thank you, Manoj.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye, Manoj. Thanks.